Valorant's most popular player has a new main, and whilst there are certainly those who doubted him, Tenz was very quick to destroy those doubters with an absolutely dominant performance against DRX. This is the story of how Tenz became an Omen main. And we're going to start here with round number 5, which is a good tale for basically how this entire game went. I'm going to show you the map at this point. Sentinels are on the defensive side here. It's a 5v4 in DRX's favor. Sentinels are all on the wrong side of the map. Let's take a look at their guns as well, shall we? They have a Stinger, a Frenzy, a Ghost, and a Sheriff. They have no way of winning this round, but they are going to win this round. And it's going to come off the back this time of Tenz's aggression, which, as we'll see later on in this video, Tenz's Omen is pretty aggressive because he's going to TP past this trip and then he's going to come on the big flank just here. He's going to find a free kill on the Cypher. Then for whatever reason, DRX are going to play probably too aggressive themselves and Buzz is going to give Tenz another free kill. And then from there, Sentinels are going to manage to close this thing out.
Map. Buzz has his eyes trained on that. RB still pulling up the rear as well. And DRX still just so cautious as they go for this plant. They don't want to over-aggress, give up a free rifle upgrade.
Oh no! RB on the backside, not expecting Tenz to come through, and he could upgrade. They're trying to cut it off, and he's too good with it.
Oh, well, that's two. Looking for another, trying to use the paranoia just to buy some space. Now he knows where Stacks is. Tenz, he's picked up the rifle. He's looking to just hold Stacks in position. However, his teammates don't have rifles in hand just yet. So he has the only firepower, but second with a long-range Stinger burst. And Tenz with a nice kill as well. Second with the showstopper. Split second decision-making from the Rays of Sentinels.
Now let's move to round number 8, where we're going to see a nice sight hold here from Sentinels.
But without Foxy9 being in the lineup, you got to go a little bit more cautious and disciplined. So see if they can string something together. Buzz right over the trap wires.
Oh, what a guiding light from Saucy to keep him alive, and that gives timing for Tenz to jump through. He's not going to be able to make it all alive, but it is Sentinel is just wiping the floor against DRX.
Okay, so we see the DRX here. They're going to go for their fast A exec, but what we're also going to get is a Viper's Pit out from Sentinels. Now, I'm not a great fan of Viper's Pit in mid. The reason for that is often what you'll find is that teams will play 2 towards B, 2 towards A, and the Viper's Pit in mid. But I think against teams that know that this is often coming, you can mess with the rotations, and the rotations will often take a long time to get there, which means that, 2 players here against 5 can still be a pretty weak sight, and maybe that's what DRX were thinking, but actually Sentinels have 3 players here this time, and so that allows them to just be a bit more aggressive, and you see that come into the round, because as DRX start to come in, we pop the Seekers here from Sassy, and Tenz is going to Omen Flash down here as well. Now this Omen Flash, as we see, doesn't quite connect onto Buzz, but it will connect onto these kind of second layer players here. So whilst Buzz is coming onto the site, he's about to get hit by this Seeker and be blind, right? But the thing is, the rest of his teammates, who he probably expects will be in with him, actually aren't. So Tenz floods out first and has the time to actually look and kill Buzz before he gets traded. Now, okay, eventually he gets traded there, but by that time, Sassy has now come all the way back here and is now just spamming down this angle and getting free kills as well. And in that time that it's taken them, because of Tenz's flash, we've managed to get Zekken into this position as well, where he can now join the party and also start to join in on the fun, get that final kill, and win the round for Sentinels. Now on to round number 11, and this one we have to talk about the importance of map control, because we're going to focus here over towards A, and we're going to see that DRX eventually get pushed back. This camera is going to get destroyed soon enough by Sentinels, and then eventually Sentinels are going to start pushing up here and taking some space towards A. They start off actually with a boombot coming out just there, but in a second they're going to skydog as well down towards A, and you see that RB decides to actually just leave and come back towards mid instead. So there goes that skydog, comes and takes the control towards A, and you see that Zekken actually rotates over towards mid. So now that we have Sassy kind of, taking deep control here over towards A, we now have 4 players from Sentinels kind of, towards mid and B here, who are now controlling this part of the map. And this is going to be very important for what happens next, because DRX come towards mid, but what's about to happen is you're going to see them skydog up here. They're going to see Tenz, but then we're also going to get a snakebite and a grenade, right? So there goes the nade that sees Tenz here with this skydog. The nade comes out, the snakebite comes out, and so that means, hey, 3 people here in mid. So in response to that, what's going to happen is Zest is going to say, hey, there's a ton of people out here in mid. That means that the B site must be pretty free. They're playing retake on B, and he's going to go charging up to B. But unfortunately for him, they don't realize that actually John QT is still here watching B the entire time.
Spotted the paint shells and the snake bite just to keep them at bay through that smoke, and DRX, they give up on mid because you already have Zest through, but breaks the trap wire, he peeks out.
And then because of that, now DRX are completely behind the game. You see that these guys aren't even on the site yet, but we actually have 3 Sentinels player here already because we were so stacked in mid already and we had the kind of correct rotations from the control that we had taken earlier on. So at this point, we've already got a ton of Sentinel players in there. We're going to see actually Tenz TP across to John QT as well. And again, they're just going to destroy this with one of these fast rotates over towards B.
Goes a little aggressive, and John QT is able to hold on to backside, refreshes that rifle, but gets the full flash in his face. Just can't find the kill, but his teammates are there to cover him. Zelsis from one side, double at the back of the site as well. DRX, even if they break through, they have no idea the Tenz is already here. And now it's going to be the drop from second as his teammates pick up the kills. 8-3 so far in the first half.
And now let's take a look at some of Sentinel's attack side as well, and we'll start with that pistol round.
I was literally just thinking the same thing, Will. I was like, this toxic screen means that they have read that this mid push is going to happen.
Yeah, that allows them to even a better read with that toxic screen as well.
That's what I was just thinking. I was literally just thinking the same thing, Will. I was like, this toxic screen means that they have read that this mid push is going to happen.
Yeah, that allows them to keep all that other util just to buy time here in mid. They still have the toxic screen from ramp to mid as well, so my eyes on John QT on the minimap. Can he put some pressure on A, at least give them a numbers advantage on this attack onto B? Should be able to hear that trap wire. Yeah, Zelsis spots it. No one gonna get stuck on it for the time being. Paranoia used just to make sure they can get through to the plant location. Poison Cloud as well, that main shell going for...
So we saw their Sentinels pretty easily walk up onto the B site. They created some pressure in mid, which forced these guys to maybe think that they were going to trap them here in mid with this Viper Wall coming across from the defender side. But Sentinels perhaps reading that because of this Viper Wall decide, okay, we're going to come back to B instead with our Viper Wall, which now stops you from being able to see, and we just walk in onto the site as you see just there, destroying the trip in the meantime. But you saw that they tried to get the spike down there, but we had a nade in here stopping them from being able to plant. And it's the next part that I really like from Sentinels though, because they go, okay, maybe the timing has been lost, right? Maybe these smokes are about to go down and then we may be in some trouble to actually plant the spike. So instead what they do is they're about to dog down here and get really aggressive in the post plant and go and follow it and try and actually fight back here instead. And I think this is a really good decision by Sentinels and shows kind of, you know, some of their cohesion as a team and their coordination in these kind of situations. Very, very good. And even though it doesn't go perfect for them, they kind of get rewarded for doing that later on in the round as this lurk then comes in and manages to help win them the round.
Fall position, doesn't want to take any extra damage, so Saucy will break off of it, but John QT's still waiting. And DRX, they've already come all the way to the site, so Sentinels, they understand the pressure is here. They need to be ready for an early retake. And Tenz doesn't get hit by the flash, but just the classic in hand. Teammate behind him, the snake bite does so much damage, but it's only going to lead to 2 kills. DRX pushing through with the paranoia. They're already broken onto the site. Saucy just trying to stay alive, just trying to cause a distraction, allowing John QT to come through and find the spike diffuser. He finds one, draws attention. Now it's back over to Saucy, balls in his court. He finds another kill, and it's only Mako left. Gets the call for both locations, but both of them repositioned once again. Ring around the rosy, but time's clicking down. And not finding the shots as we find Saucy going for the flank. And it's Sentinels getting yet another pistol round.
One thing that I think a lot of people have noted is that Tenz is extremely aggressive on this Omen with some of his TPs, like in this round where he TPs on top of this box here and does manage to get a kill from it.
Yeah, and Sentinels, they have the showstopper now. They already used up the one-way coming out from RB, so Zekin just going to fly high above the trap wire. Just wants to make sure he clears the site, but that initial trap wire just not spotted, so Zelsis does go down. No more toxic screen to cut up the site here. Tenz looking for an extra...
And so maybe there's still some limit testing that Tenz needs to do in terms of how aggressive to be with these TPs, but in the very next round we see another kind of unusual TP that you don't often see that pays off big time here, where what they're going to do is they're going to blast back with a judge up here with Zekin, right? Really threaten this early on, and Tenz is actually going to TP up onto this box just here behind it, so the Viper Orb, actually he can see past it from up there and actually manages to trade the kill.
That, you know, maybe set up that combo with Tenz, something like that to TP or get somebody up above, but to trade it immediately. Buzz with a judge.
And then as we come to round number 28, we're going to see more aggressive Omen TPs to actually win the game for Sentinels in this big clutch from Tenz. If we start off this round where they're just about to come in for this exec, he actually initially blocks off the Skydog. But again, Tenz is going to be the first one in here, right? TPing in onto the site just here. And the Cypher here, RB for DRX, you're going to see in just a second, doesn't seem quite aware that Tenz really is this deep. And that's actually going to give Tenz the first kill.
And Tenz, he's already gone through. Looking to maybe go even deeper. The Cyber Cage not coming back up yet. He hasn't made noise. They're not quite aware that he's entirely in, and the paranoia catches RB off guard. Bako just trying to hide away, but
we're not done yet either, because Tenz is going to continue with his aggressive TPs, as you'll see just here, coming all the way up on rafters, and he's actually almost going to find the kill on Zest here, as Zest makes the noise going back up onto the zip wire. I mean, the timing there is very lucky for Zest, but then from this position, we're going to get the spike down. It's going to settle down a bit, but then Tenz is going to continue to be aggressive. He's going to find some nice movement, tucking himself back under here with the smoke, and then eventually he's going to win a 1v1 by using the Omen ult.
But Buzz, he's been quick. And this timing over on B Garage, it's hard to read. Zest a little bit ahead of his teammates, though. This is all set up for Buzz. He's able to catch one kill, and he can't find it onto Tenz. 1v1 near health for Tenz as well. Oh, from the shadows for the mind games. He goes a little bit far, but Stax, he has no idea. He has to check every corner. He has to wait for the peek out. And now he knows, and no, it's going to be Tenz finding the head. Ladies and gentlemen, doubters be gone. Sentinels will be the first team to secure their spot in the semifinals of the AVL.
So I think in that last clip as well, we see that maybe there's still some things that Tenz needs to learn on this agent. Maybe he did go a little too far with the TP away just there. But I think overall, we saw a pretty good performance by Tenz. He definitely needs to rein it in probably somewhat on some of these aggressive TPs. But I think we saw some examples where it was done in coordination with the team and what the team is trying to do, where actually it looked very, very good.